Imo Governor Uzodinma says kidnappers mentioned Okorocha as one of their sponsors. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. The governor intends to use a stakeholders meeting to name and shame sponsors of terrorism in the state. Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State says Senator Rochas Okorocha and former governorship candidate of the Action Alliance AA Uche Nwosu has been named by suspects as sponsors of kidnapping and banditry in the state. Oh my goodness, I saw this coming. I saw this coming especially when, Okorocha himself has also been dropping some hints about him being the sponsors of the bloodletting that is going on in southeastern Imo State. I saw this particular one coming, sincerely. I saw it coming. But now, I think these politicians are beginning to behave childish, sincerely. If this is really the truth, which of course I believe that there is no smoke, sincerely. There is nothing I take for granted these days, Nigerians, and you should not be taking things for granted. There is no smoke without fire. I'm not saying you should do anything, but at least you should be very, very cautious, very, very at alert and cautious of everything that is going on around you. These two men, all I'm waiting for sincerely is for them to come out and wash their dirty linen in public, because it is seeming like their beef is getting out of hand and they don't want to handle issues like adults. So, fine and good. It is even going to be to Nigerians, it is going to be to our good if finally they wash their dirty linen and, we know where we are going to be directing people to, sending people to, instead of going after innocent people as criminals. We know where to send the security operatives to, so that they can actually get those who are sponsors of terrorism in the state, bloodletting and all the kidnappings in the state. Okay, let's find out more about what Hope Uzodinma said. Stay with us, the news in detail. Nwosu is Okorocha's son-in-law. He was recently arrested inside a church and flown to Abuja. Okorocha and Uzodinma have been locked in a war of words, with the former calling the latter a national embarrassment recently. In a statement, K1DÑ, Chief Press Secretary to Uzodinma, said Okorocha and Nwosu should be more concerned about clearing their names. For the avoidance of doubt, Okorocha and Nwosu have been specifically mentioned by suspects who are in the custody of security agents as being sponsors of kidnapping and banditry in Imo State, using their relationship with former ex-militants to perpetrate the crimes, the statement reads. Rather than clear their names, they appear bent on using both overt and covert means to blackmail the police high command, which legitimately arrested Uche Nwosu. They are also actively seeking to dent the image of the fine security officers attached to the governor of Imo State. Plot by those believed to be fueling insecurity, particularly kidnapping, banditry, arson, and cannibalism in Imo State ahead of January 4th, 2022. Imo stakeholders meeting got to a head on Monday with false news of the alleged arrest of security officers attached to Governor Hope Uzodinma. Governor Uzodinma, it is believed, will use the stakeholders meeting to expose the identities of those behind insecurity and other forms of criminality in Imo State. This has prompted Imo citizens to become more curious to discover the identities of those undermining their peace and prosperity. Thus, the current media friendly by both Rochas Okorocha and Uche Nwosu appears to be strengthening the notion of their culpability. To discredit the government and undermine the peace which the governor has achieved so far, as was evident in the large number of Imo people who came back home from around the world for Christmas and New Year festivities. The duo have resorted to publishing falsehoods yet again about security officers in the state government house. The claim of the arrest and detention of a certain Shaba, whom they falsely allege to be the CSO to the Imo State governor, is strange, as the governor CSO is not known by the name of Shaba, both officially and otherwise. In addition, no security officer in the governor's security team was either arrested or is currently unaccounted for. As such, the entire story can be described as a poorly scripted fabrication aimed at misleading the unsuspecting public. The statement reads further. Okorocha and Uzodinma's feud has its roots built up in the 2019 governorship election in Imo. Okorocha, who governed Imo from 2011 to 2019, wanted son-in-law Nwanso to succeed him. However, that did not work out as planned. You see the last paragraph. For Okorocha to even think that this will happen when we are not in the ancient of days time, when we are not in the 17th century, and you're thinking that your state, the state that you rule, that your son-in-law, is it a family affair? If something is not, in fact, sometimes there are some things you are tempted to see about those people, but you just realize that these people are actually educated. They're educated. And you are lost for words of how to put the issue. If somebody who is an illiterate now is saying this thing, somebody who is not educated, in fact, there is no illiterate that will even say this. Because the illiterate will know that we are not practicing a monarchy kind of government here, where, like the one that happened in the United Kingdom, where, power stays in family. How does this make sense? That you are governor and you wanted your in-law. Some people, I don't know. The thing is sickening. Now, that is not even the problem. The problem I'm having is these people are using Imo State people's life to play Squid Game. They are having a fun and a laugh while the people gnash their teeth. People are dying and they are busy doing they're doing blame shifting up and down. Instead of getting to the business of ensuring that this person was... I'm even against the fact that Governor Hope Uzodinma had to hold the names till when he said they will release them. To me, it does not make sense. They say somebody is killing children around. Yes, who is the person? I know the person, but on so date I will name it. Does that seem to make sense? Does not make sense. If, let's say, you're going to come out and say investigations are going on and this is that, then we're going to know. This one, you just say you will name it. Sincerely, there's some things that when you hear, it disgusts you. People are actually dying. People are being killed. There is no day that goes by. I'm saying it. For every news that is real, that comes out, there are 5 under or more than 5 that are swept under the carpet. A lot is hidden. They don't want it to come out. And then you know it and you are using it to do just like you want to give somebody something and you're withdrawing it back. Come on. You don't play with such kind of information. If you want to give it, you give it. And you ensure that you give it timely too as well. On this note, we have come to the end of the news. We say thank you for tuning in to listen. And until I come your way next time, enjoy the rest of your day.